Good day and welcome to another episode of In the Spotlight. I'm Superintendent Michael Richard, and today I'm very pleased to be joined by Ms. Cara Taylor, who's a visual arts teacher here at West Springfield High School. Cara, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so let's get the audience a little bit familiar with you. Tell us, the audience at home, where you grew up, where you went to school, and how you ended up here at West Springfield High School.
So I grew up in Western Pennsylvania, right outside of Pittsburgh, and I went to college at the University of Delaware, where I studied ceramics, and after that, I started teaching a lot of ceramics classes and art classes, and so I found my way to Western Mass, went to UMass for art education, and I ended up here.
All right, very good. So are you a Steelers fan? We need to ask this question. Let's move on to question number two. All right,
that's a good idea.
Safe answer. So, what courses do you teach here? So you're heavily involved in ceramics, we know that, but I'm not sure if that's what you're just limited to teaching at the high school these days.
It is, actually.
Okay.
For the last 2 years, I've been teaching solely ceramics.
All right, and so why is that? What was the inspiration behind you getting really involved in that kind of hands-on art and working with clay?
It's been this way my whole life. I've loved always making things with my hands, whether it's knitting or crocheting, or when I got to high school I took a ceramics class and I just loved it.
You fell in love right away.
I did.
So your passion for ceramics has evolved into the opportunity for West Springfield High School to really host a pretty incredible event. And on Thursday the 14th, you're hosting the Empty Bowl dinner. And tell the audience at home a little bit about what that is, how it started, and what someone could expect if they participate.
So to begin, the Empty Bowl dinner is a community arts event where people come and they have the opportunity to choose a handmade bowl. We eat dinner together, there's soup served, and it's a time for people to have a meal together and to share in this experience. And it's supposed to raise awareness about hunger in the local community or the global community. So it started in Michigan, I believe, in about early 1990s, and it was a ceramics teacher in a high school classroom who collaborated with a potter, and they decided they were going to raise money for their local food bank, and they hosted a dinner where the kids made bowls and served soup, and people ate together, and then you take the bowl home with you. And
that's what happens here at the high school. The students are creating the bowls from which people are eating these homemade soups.
Yeah.
And when do those projects begin?
Gosh, we began weeks ago. It takes a long time to construct the bowls. They have to dry, they have to be fired once. After that, they come out of the kiln and we glaze them, and then they get fired again. So we're in that process right now. Not all of the bowls are done. We're glazing this week and firing early next week.
With a week to go, we're still making more bowls.
Yeah.
So I've seen the array of bowls, and it's pretty phenomenal to see the designs that the students come up with. What's the direction that they get from you about how to create the bowl? What are the limitations? What are the expectations?
Well, they're learning a new skill. Some of them are beginners. Some of them have taken Ceramics 1 and they're in a Ceramics 2 class. They have total creative control over the design on the outside and the inside of their bowl. And basically we explore different construction methods. So there's a lot of exploration, skill building, and surprise too in the end. Sometimes they don't know what the glazes are going to look like or how things are going to turn out necessarily.
Yeah, well, it's pretty amazing. So let's talk about, before we get to the topic of hunger, let's talk about the soups. What goes on there? Because I'll tell you, I've had some pretty tasty soups there in past events.
Yeah, so the students volunteer to make the soup. Looks like we have a lot of chicken noodle on the menu this year.
All right.
We have a tortellini soup. I think we have a tomato soup coming out, and the students have asked me to make broccoli cheddar, so I'm gonna try that for the first time.
That's a fan favorite.
Yeah.
Good. Let's talk about hunger. This conversation around soup is getting me thinking about this. But we know that there are a lot of students and families, not just in West Springfield, but in Western Mass, if we keep it local, who struggle with getting quality meals each day. How does this event help raise awareness around those hunger struggles, and what can people do to help support the cause?
So we start in the classroom talking about what hunger means. We talk about food insecurity versus food security, and we talk about community food security. And we look to some of the local food banks and what they do. And we also do a project where the students sort of take on the role of someone who might be struggling to buy enough food for themselves and their families. And so I think the students start to realize what that might look like and why someone would need to go to a local food bank or a food pantry. We're going to be donating our proceeds and giving it to the parish cupboard right here in West Springfield. And so I think they feel a direct connection, that the money that they raise is going right back into the community, and they feel pretty great about that.
That's hugely important. I know that it's a minimum of $10 contribution, I think, to participate, and you get to select the bowl from what you eat, and you get to enjoy the variety of soups that are available. I also know Martha Ty from the Parish Cupboard has been on this show, and she's a former educator here in West Springfield, and she does a tremendous amount to serve the community. So your efforts to help her organization is greatly appreciated. This event doesn't happen on its own, though. Right? I mean, there's a lot of people who are involved. Can you tell me a little bit about besides the students who are creating the artwork, what else goes into this? You dedicate a lot of your own time, energy, and efforts into putting this on. But is there anybody else who should be or could be recognized for their efforts?
You know, actually, it really is that simple. The students making the bowls, making the soup. There are some people here at the school who are really helpful. Amy in the food lab with her students, they're making a big crock of soup, so that's really great that they're contributing. And it's the people who come, the people who line up at 6 o'clock because they want to have their pick of all the bowls. You know, it really is just a very simple event in that way.
The event starts at 6.
Starts at 6.
And runs until?
We usually finish up around 7:30, 8 o'clock-ish.
So the bowls are gone and the soup is gone.
Yeah, and they go fast.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. So get in line so that you know to get your first pick, you have an opportunity for a first pick. So this is a great event. So Thursday, March 14th, 6 o'clock, West Springfield High School, right in the cafeteria. $10 minimum donation. You get a bowl, a handmade bowl by a student. If you're there early, you get the pick of the litter.
That's right.
If you're there late, you still get a bowl. Although memory serves me correctly, we generally sell out.
We do. And you know, there's two people that I did forget to mention, two groups and organizations that help out. Panera Bread has always donated a big box of bread for our event, which is great. And we get the money for the glaze and the clay from the West Springfield Arts Council. So they're a huge part in making this happen.
True community partnership.
Yeah, and it just slipped my mind for a minute there, but
That's
we
okay.
couldn't do it without them.
That's all right. We want to make sure they get their accolades for sure. So, Cara, it's been great having you on today. But before I let you go, there's always one question everybody gets asked, and that is, you've had an opportunity to sit, to chat, and to share some information. This is always a great opportunity for you to recommend somebody else. So who would you like to see featured in a future segment of In the Spotlight?
Well, I don't know if he's been featured already, but I think Mr. H, our new music teacher at the high school, is doing some incredible things and has so much to share about the music program and what the kids are doing. And there's some new class offerings that I'd personally like to take myself if I could.
Yeah, so Mr. Holozowski has been a guest. That doesn't mean you're back on the hook. It's okay. He did. We made him play his trumpet. He did a little piece for us. He is really expanding the arts program in terms of the music education work. And we know that in our budget for next year, we're actually asking for another music teacher to help support the work
I think that would be incredible.
Yeah, very good. Well, Mr. H, maybe you're on notice that you're going to be back in the spotlight in another edition, maybe at the beginning of next year. But it's been my pleasure to have Cara Taylor here from West Springfield High School on the show, talking about the Empty Bowl Dinner that will take place Thursday, March 14th at 6 o'clock here at West Springfield High School. $10 minimum donation will get you a handmade bowl produced by a student in the arts program and endless bowls of soup at the high school. So we hope to see you there, and I thank you for joining us in the Spotlight. Have a great day.